Mets. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to this channel, you know what to do to this channel. Subscribe right now. Also, like and share. We got a lot to talk about this morning. Before we get this episode kicked off, I just want to send a lot of healing energy to all my supporters out there. If you're going through something right now and you're having problems and issues in your life, remember, everything that comes ahead of you is just a hurdle. You just got to find a way to get over it, get around it. However you got to get in front of it, that's what you got to do. So we're gonna set this episode off. There's a lot we got to talk about, a lot of things going on out there, a lot of nonsense, and a lot of serious things we got to cover. So we're going to jump right into it. Hold on one second. Now I got to get my little pineapples. Everybody get in here, and when y'all get in here, make sure y'all drop a like so we get this all the way up, man. If y'all want that good energy in the morning, want to take you, on your way, y'all make sure y'all drop that like for your boy. Let me see something. Okay. How we gonna set this off, y'all? The first thing I want to send out, let's send out some healing energy to the victims involved in the shooting at the little baby video shoot. I believe it was out in Atlanta, and little baby, he was doing a video shoot for I'm believing it's like a, I'm not sure if it was like a food, something to do with food, or somebody had a business that he was, doing a track or something for them. I don't know if it's to promote the business. And a shootout, happened, and I believe 3 or 4 people got shot. One in the neck, one in the back, and I believe one somewhere else. But this is what I've been telling you guys, man. There's a lot of guns in the streets. There's a lot of guns everywhere, and the more altercations that happen when there's guns involved, 9 out of 10 times people are going to try to resolve it with the gun. So I just wanted to send healing energy, and especially there's so much going on right now. I understand the energy, I understand the temperature of hip hop right now, entertainment. People are trying to find their way, and some people are trying to pull them back. There's a lot of things going on. It's almost like a hip hop civil war going on right now in these in these entertainment streets. Now, I know the big talk, everybody's from, I heard it probably the same time everybody else heard it. DJ academics with these allegations of this whole the grape, but I wanna break a few things down and just give you my take on this whole situation because it's very early, and I don't want to just throw things on people. It's not easy to just know if something's a truth or not in these times. But what I do want to say before we get into this is just a message for academics. At these times when things are going like this, if you feel, in these times you're gonna see a lot of people just coming at you. Sometimes social media it can get crazy, but there are victims out there too, and just because people are talking on these allegations or speaking on it, it doesn't necessarily say anybody's guilty until they're in court. And that's the same as Diddy and all these other allegations, because you got a lot of people chiming in that really can't even make a decision for themselves. Excuse me. But so from what I'm hearing with DJ Academics now is that there's a female that he was dating or was his girlfriend, and she's saying one day she went over his house, and 2 other guys, including academics, had did the grape thing. So the first thing, before we even jump into the details of that situation, because we don't really know the full details of it until everything comes out, the people you have around you says a lot about you. Because in these times, not only do you have to have people around you can trust. Because if you have somebody around you that is doing something that you might not have moral, that you and him don't have in common, it can also land on you as well. Now, when it comes to females, and it's a very, to me, it's a young thing to have other dudes in your business, or even just, sleeping around. You said she said it was like a threesome when she woke up, but those type of things are things that you have at a younger age when you're just experiencing. You're not really you don't have the full gist on what sex or making love is, or you're having fun with the boys. The girls are having fun with the boys. the, it's just like it's more of a friendship. Everybody's learning each other in these situations, but the older you get is where you have to be more responsible and just take a little take your mind off the sexual part and just think for the other person, because it's a hard thing when you're dealing with these allegations. Because is it date grape if a person's intoxicated? Is it credible if they let you sleep with them if they're intoxicated? That's a whole question that kind of it draws a line in between. But we see a lot of things now. Just, and this is off the academics, but it's I hear a lot of stories about just drugging people and putting things in people's drinks in these times. And I feel like anything like that is forcing somebody to do something that they don't want to do, whether it's a female or a male. It's just not right, and it's taking advantage of somebody else. These type of charges, these type of allegations are things that stick with you forever. So I don't want to, from what I know, because I don't. The last time I watched academics, I believe I seen a clip on YouTube, and he was going off on Meek Mill, and it was something like there was had some back and forth. I think it wasn't that long ago. I think it was had to do because he was cracking jokes about the with the Diddy thing and everything. So it had to be some recent. And as I'm watching that, I didn't even know that at that point that academics had this beef with Meek Mills. I try not to keep up with. I don't really listen to Meek Mill's music as much as I used to when he first had started, so I didn't know what was going on in with this whole beef. But now I see another this allegation with academics and the female. The best thing I could say to this is you have to wait till the allegations and wait till things, if it says in court. So wait till we'll see the results of this, because I can't really point out another situation where I seen Act doing something like this, or he was in a situation like this. I don't know that much about the situation to really say, oh, he's guilty or he's that type of person. But what I could say is you have to be responsible when you have these type of people around you. For me personally, I wouldn't have friends around me that I couldn't trust or that would even do that to somebody that I claim to be my girlfriend. If you're my girlfriend and I happen to pass out or sleep, or we having a party and I just fall to sleep, I don't expect my friends that when I wake up with there to be sleeping with the girl that's with me, like that. These are the type of things where, like, growing up, you kind of find out the value in the type of friends that you have around you. A lot of people, when you hear a lot of people say, oh, that's my best friend, that's my best friend, that they got a whole bunch of best friends around the world, those are the people usually unstable with themselves. Really, none of those people are your best friend. The first best friend you should have is God, number one. When you have bad friends around you, anything can happen. Anything that is that's nonsense is going on, you're gonna be involved with. So the first thing that I seen that was wrong is just having the wrong people around you. To me, I'd rather be by myself than have bad friends around me. That's just my choice, my take on it, just how I see things, because I get a lot more done without the interruption. And you get to see, when you step back, you get to see who's really there for you. You get to see people for who they are. And now I have friends of all types. I have friends that, some wild out friends, and I have friends that's really, close hearted to me. Friends I chop it up with, friends that I can call and pray with. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to sex and things like that, I don't really involve none of my friends in my personal life or anything like that, as far as like when it's dealing with another female. And it's just because it's just dudes are more catty than women, and it's just the truth. This is not something new. This is something that's been going from back in the day. dudes get catty. So when they see who you sleeping with, it's always like some kind of competition. Oh, I can't believe you slept with her. Oh, isn't that, or isn't that so and so? So I try to keep when my sexual life as private as possible. And like I told you guys, privacy right now is priceless in these times because people are giving their information up so much. I don't want to draw away from the issue here. But that's one of the things that I really see as a problem. People keeping the wrong people around or just supporting the wrong lifestyles. Number two, I think this whole rapper lifestyle or this rapper, the way rappers live or the way entertainers live and the way artists live has been confused to the public. Because now you have people in the public that's misguided and they don't understand really what life is about. They're getting their taste of another life through social media. So they're confused. All they can believe is what they see on the screen. And the entertainment and rapper lifestyle, there's facts that they and we're gonna keep this all real now. We're not sugarcoating anything. Entertainments and artists, they die at a faster rate than the average person. It's because of the lifestyle chosen from these entertainers. It's not to say that every artist goes fast or anything like that, but it's just to say the lifestyle that you pick up. Once you gain money and you start getting your notoriety and you start growing up, the people that you come encounter with, if those people don't love you, that's the more chances of you falling trapped to these type of situations. A lot of men would never fall in these type of situations because of the people they keep around them. Even females too. Now, as a female, on the other end, you going over to academics house, you have to hold some kind of responsibility within yourself too. Now you know as a female, if you're going over to that man's house, you already made up your mind what you want to do that night, what you're gonna wear if you're leaving that night or if you're leaving in the morning. We all know this. This is not the first time we sleeping with females now. I don't know how many guys, there's a lot of guys out there that maybe haven't had their fair share of females when they was growing up. So now they're in a space where they just want to do this, do that. And when you do things and going fast, mistakes happen. As a female, you have to know if you're going to go to a man's house and there's liquor going to be involved, you have to go with a best friend. I don't know if it's just NYC chicks, but I'm pretty sure Atlanta, Texas, all the chicks, make sure y'all drop a like right now. Because when y'all going to somebody's house, you can go with your friend, even if she's the flirty one, you have to go with somebody that you could be secure with. So God forbid something happen. God forbid you drink or overdrink or something gets put in your drink allegedly. You have somebody that can have your back. Now you're saying that you have to watch back the tape and you just see yourself and people sleeping with you. Number two, why I guess the cameras in the house was taping the whole situation. That's another thing too. Just this whole taping of what you've been doing, and then you have other guys in there. The number one rule is in these times: do you have sex in privacy and keep your mouth shut. God forbid something happens to you or her; it's between you or her. When you have two other people in there, you don't. Academics, I'm pretty sure you're making. I'm pretty sure you're doing well for yourself because you've been doing YouTube for a while. I'm 9 out of 10 times I'm sure that your friends is not doing as well as you. So most likely you're the person that's gonna be in full control of these situations. You gotta get those friends up out because they put you in a situation. Now this whole thing, this is blown. I don't know what's going on with it, but everybody's talking about the great word now. And this is something this is not a word that's being used lightly. This is something if you get put in prison, you get put in jail. That and pedophiles, they don't live. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I was watching something on YouTube and it was the discussion about O.J. Simpson and one person asked if they thought he did it and the other person was felt like he didn't do it this and that. And one thing that was said in there made me think something different. They said, if OJ didn't get locked up for the last time, even though we knew that OJ was locked up maybe because of the first thing, and they actually like squeezed it into the second, making him get locked up for his own property being stolen. When he went to prison, the food he ate eventually, allegedly, could cause cancer. And that's, they're saying if he didn't go that second time they arrested him to prison, he probably had a little longer time to live just because of the food and the lifestyle of prison. So just knowing that alone, it tells you that even if you have over 5 to 10 years, the food that you're being fed, the lifestyle that you're living in prison, your body eventually is going to crash regardless. So it is a lifetime bid, no matter if, because you're outside of society, the food is not the best. You have other men telling you to do this, do that, open this and open that. This is not the life you want to live. It's not the life you want to live. We see a lot of people nowadays getting drugged and things like that. There's so many drugs out here in entertainment. I was so, to be honest with you, a heartbreaker for me with the whole Diddy case was that the cocaine thing. That was a heartbreaker for me. To me, when I hear cocaine, I look at that like that's crack. And to have that around your kids and have those allegations and it just being thrown in the air so easily, oh, cocaine is nothing. Cocaine is something. Don't you know cocaine, a lot of people have heart attacks off that stuff. That's a drug that's hard to get off of. Cocaine will take your life away from you. It'll snatch your soul away from you and sell it to the devil. Don't let these people act like, they're godly or this and that. So a lot of times, and I'm not, this is just in general. A lot of times people put on this, like I told you, people put on this mask like they're some good person or not, but they're doing good people bad. And they're fooling you. I was brought up in a religious household, a loving family. Even though my moms and my pops separated, we had love for each other. Like we still all connected. My father could walk in this house, walk wherever he gotta go. We have that type of in our whole family. It's just a Fenty thing. We have love for each other like that. We don't overextend ourselves, but we also, if we need each other, we're gonna be there for each other. Shouts out to my cousin Tiffany too. Love you bad. Because this is just how the people you keep around you is gonna determine how far you go ahead in life. You can't have bad friends and people around you that don't want to see you make it, because when you do make it as God set you out here to be, they're gonna be the ones the first to pull you down. They're gonna be the ones to be your downfall. I've learned that through the years I've grown up. I've learned to treat women with respect, and I've learned to understand that there's women out there that they don't they don't garner the respect, but you still got to give them the respect because maybe they haven't found themselves yet. They still a queen. It might not be the queen with her crown on right, or it might be a little tilted, but you still got to fix it. That's why I be up here, and I don't understand how people could just, you know, in these times we living in, we got a black on black crime. We killing each other. Every day I see on the news, one of us are getting killed. It's sad. And then not only that, our queens are not even safe anymore. Just because you see, and it's another thing too. Just because a female wants to get half naked for me doesn't necessarily mean that they want to get half naked or would want to do the same for a friend of mine or somebody else. How a female or how your partner treats you is how that person treats you. Just because a girl would do something for you doesn't necessarily mean they'll do it for the next person. That's why you can't go around there putting these things on people's head like she's a hoe, this and that. No, no, she might have acted like that with me in the room. When she go out there with them, she's not having sex with other people like that. It's all about who you're messing with, the things you love and value in relationships, and that's what keeps that tight. It's not that I was so, one of the best couple, Rihanna and ASAP Rocky, y'all. Ain't they the best couple? For real. ASAP and Rihanna, they don't stay in the news with all this nonsense. They don't get into none of that because they love each other. One of the best couples out there. It's a couple that you can see them and you can actually, the kids can look at them and say, you know what? I like that. That's something I can see myself. We both making it. ASAP ain't mad that Rihanna has more money. Rihanna's the richest person in my family. She's like the richest person in our family. Nobody in our family has ever had that money before. That's just how it is. But you don't get mad at the queens. You don't pull them down. I can't just knock a female and say, oh, she didn't get the grape or somebody didn't drug her. Because I see in these times, especially entertainment, a lot of these females don't expect they'll be drugged just because they want to meet a superstar or want to be around a superstar. Maybe they're trying to feel them out. Or maybe they like somebody else that's in there. Like, yeah, Trey Songz is there, but maybe she came looking for Chris Brown or vice versa. You know what I mean? And just because she's in there, it doesn't mean that when she gets in there, being that she was looking for somebody that she liked, or maybe she felt like she had a chance with dealing with, that somebody could just take advantage of her. What kind of unfair world are we living in? We are way past that. And I told you guys the reason why I can't really. It's like standing on eggshells because I also believe and know that when you protect demons, you inherit their karma. That's why I like to throw all the healing energy out to you guys. All the energy for you guys, whatever you guys want in life, God is going to present it and give it to you. You don't have to take anything from anybody else or block anybody from doing anything to get what you want. Because the reality, we all deserve to be doing our best and achieving and living life at our best. But it's you have to understand this when there's a good, there's a bad. There's people that don't see it. They have things that they came up, they living through trauma. There's a lot of people out here living through trauma. Everything is funny, everything is a joke until it's not a joke. And then the tears start coming down. And I mean, these tears are enough to make a boat sail. Because I'm seeing from New York to Atlanta to Chicago to Detroit to everywhere, even the places that you don't even think that crimes and these type of things are happening. You know how many break-ins and how many celebrities have their place broken into and people crawling through their window? Just because they don't say it on an everyday basis, so they don't want to be part of this whole social media news thing, doesn't mean that it's not happening. It doesn't mean it's not happening. You have and especially in our community, the black culture, we do want the best for our kids and we do want the best for our families, but we also want them to live safe and be in communities where that we are respected and treated equally. I mean, that's only being fair. I refuse to live in the middle of a war. You can't raise a family in the middle of a war. You can't even grow a rose in the middle of a war. It's eventually going to get stepped on. And that's just the reality of life. So when you hear these allegations on these people, it's so sad to hear because I know that there's in these allegations there's victims too. And it's not easy for a victim to just pop on the camera and just stare in the camera and tell their story. I understand that. And I'm also mindful of people wanting to get something out of money out of people because of them feeling that they're being wronged. And sometimes it necessarily is not really them being wronged. It could be their fault as well. So that's how tricky these things could be. Look in the Diddy situation, like there's females like this Cassie. We know that there's more truth in her story. And I feel like her story is what made the allegations, is what made everything else crumble because of the person she was. You can't lie on a person, no matter if you don't like that artist. Nobody could have said Cassie, oh, I've seen Cassie out with a whole bunch of guys or had a tabloids. You couldn't say that. You couldn't say it about her. The most you could say, I don't like her music. But when your heart kicking, you knew that that girl was in line. You knew it. Don't lie to me. You know it. You know and you feel it. Don't let yourself lie to you. If it don't feel funny and you question it, leave it alone. But you know that girl was in line. Even if you never listened to a day of her music and just seen her with him or just watched her from social media, you knew from her energy that she wasn't that type. She told her truth. She sat there and she was the one that ordered the things and that. But what people didn't realize, Power makes people do things they don't want to do. And people bow down to this power because they don't know the value of themselves. Or they can be in predicaments where that people hold things over their head. That's what happens. I wanted to talk to you guys also about Wendy Williams. This is another, all of this stuff, even though it all has to do with mental health, it also has to do with the people you have around you. Now, I read a story just late last night or in the middle of the day about Wendy Williams and how one of her properties are being sold from, somebody, I guess, on that's, in her team or her camp, her family, and the property was sold for way less than she bought it for. And I thought to myself, like, if you don't have a strong mind, people want to control you. People want to take control of your thoughts, take control of what they feel you should be doing. It's the scariest thing when you have people around you that might just allegedly want money. Because they never really, like the things you do, they don't correct you on it. They might not be necessarily even like you. Second day, they come back and they don't even like you any for the whole rest of the time. You don't even know it, but they're just there because they're trying to fulfill something that they feel they have a void in. The people around you should be the ones that understand where you're trying to take it, and they love you for you. Your mistakes, your wrongs, your rights, they love you for you. A lot of people, they go into life blindfolded and thinking, oh, that's my friend, that's my best friend. Oh, I met her here. Oh, she's at the job, that's my friend. No, they're not your friends. Life doesn't work that way. Don't you realize these are parts of why having relationships keeps you away from all the nonsense. But if you understand the parts that keeps you out of it, that relationships, you don't have to be in a relationship to abide by it. For example, when you're in a relationship, at least for me, the respectful thing to do, if you're going out, you're letting your lady know where you're going, what time she should expect you back, and what time she can give you a ring or two if she just wants to hear from you. If emergency, she can call you at any time. These are the things, if when you're in a relationship, these are the things you want to get off the back. The people that hide a lot of things, the people that have a lot to hide, it's not really that they have a whole bunch of things to hide. It's just that they're not secure with themselves. That, like, if they let this out, they can't be the person they want to be on social media because not realizing that the people watching you, we all have mistakes too. We all make mistakes. Maybe, like I said, not these big of mistakes, but we all make our mistakes and we all learn from other people on how to go forward with ourselves, or we learn from just our mistake in itself. That's how really life works as a human. That's the human experience. I told you, you're gonna see a lot of rappers. It's not like Lil Baby didn't expect for his video shoot to get shot up, but he didn't think it out though, because not everybody can read the temperature, the energy. People just want to enjoy themselves and have fun, but not thinking that there's other people not enjoying themselves and having fun, and things that you might have done in the past or somebody else might have be attached to could all land on you because you're all in this circle. When they say when people are fighting from a distance, you can't tell who's who. It's the same thing. How you present yourself, how you put yourself out there is going to determine how people treat you in return. Now, I'm not the type of person to kick somebody when they're down, but we don't even know how far down they are. You could be in the middle. You could be coffin deep. We don't know what type of things people did to get where they have to go. That's why I said, people think the devil is going to be the guy in the red suit, and I tell people that is a depiction of somebody who made that up. How the fire is this and that. Well, the Bible does say there's fire, but still, eternal fire, in hell. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like devil on earth is in a lot of different things that alter you from being who God presented you to here to be. I always tell you guys that when you walk and you secure about yourself, you don't have to worry about. I won't have to worry. What allegations? About allegations about what? I don't. And another thing too, I see a lot of dudes now. Or pay attention to how people react to these allegations, and pay attention to the people that had these allegations said about them and how they react to other people with the same allegations. Because then you'll see if a person is truly forgiven about it, or if they are part of this whole nonsense. Like I didn't understand that. Like, even remember when Diddy's son just recently, he did the diss track and he said, "Oh, y'all didn't check the second house." That type of energy shows that the level of respect that some men, when they reach a certain point or have a certain amount of money, the respect they have for women is down here. Now, this female might say, you know what? I'm gonna give that guy a try. But in his head, he's saying she would never try to mess with me unless I have money. He knows that in his heart. So when she gets there and she's trying to give this a shot, not knowing that some females don't even go for you for just for looks. They go for who you are. You put this pretend on, but inside you really you don't really like her either. You're ready to hurt her because in the body in the back of your mind, that female, she likes so and so, or that's her type. You're not her type. The only reason why she might have gave you a chance or is because of status, money, or some kind of, and that doesn't necessarily says that she's a bad person. Sometimes that can just fall. Some females, they didn't grow up with their fathers, and they're trying to find a father figure within a person. And sometimes the status and money and power, that could look like something that they could be involved with. So that's understandable, even from a guy's point of view. If you see, I don't know if you know this, but guys, if there's a female of a higher status, it's most likely that a guy will approach that a certain type of guy. But a guy that has this up here, that's the first thing we want to. That's the first person we want to approach. Yeah, you got money. Maybe I can put you in a different energy to even triple what you got, or help you out with that, or just get you. I mean, you have, but you got a lot of things you got to handle over here. Let me handle all the male stuff. Let me spread my love around you. I'm gonna love on you, regardless of how much money you have. I'm gonna love on you. And relationships and money and all. I would. That's what I remember. I told you, and it's no disrespect to the rappers, but that's why we telling you, the dudes that go out there and they try to wear the rapper kit, the chain, and try to impress the ladies. It's because they don't really got nothing in here. You gotta impress a female with what you got in here if you want to keep them for a lifetime. What you got wearing out here, this stuff, this is just for the moment. But when you lay down and get to know a person eye to eye and see what and build with a person, that's what defines a true man. All of this stuff that we've been seeing on social media has been just a facade for people to try to act like somebody they're not, or try to act like another man that they see and that maybe they might draw some kind of inspiration from, but really can't go through the hard work it takes to be a real man. I see this all the time. I don't get mad at it, but I do see people regurgitating the same nonsense and the same foolishness just because of views. I see a lot. I see a lot of guys acting like, trying to act funny when they're not really that type of a funny person. And then I see a lot of dudes, they hurt. They go out there hurt and they start hurting other people, start disrespecting everybody. And I'm like, dang, like, y'all didn't even know there's people in the world. Just because you fool a million people, it could be 10 people out of that million that see you for who you really are. And you'll never, ever, ever be able to fool. You'll never be able to fool them. You'll never be able to look them eye to eye because you're not more of a man than them. Yeah, everybody else might think so, but they know what you did. They know what you did. They know what you did. So I just want to send healing energy to all the victims and everybody that's been a victim of any violence in these times right now. I just want to let's just send them all some healing energy. Like it up, like it up, like it up, like it up. Like this video up, man. Like it up. I need a whole lot of likes, man. Y'all know I need these likes, y'all. Even if y'all stopping by, just drop a like for your boy. Also, I got new drops. in the shop. Inspired by Dreams dot shop. That's dreams with three Z's. And your orders are going out quick. You know, I don't take long with the orders. I get them to you quick. So if you wanna go to a party or carnival or anything, you wanna have the drip on, I make sure I try to get it to you within. Well, you have different choices on your on you when you buy it, but we try to get it out there early. We try to get the products to all my peoples early because I know how it is. Things are moving so fast in these times. I want to try to keep up with the other brands as well. And so far, it's been going good. We just have a few people that's been a little confused on, just some funny credit cards. You got to get the credit card thing correct. We only take good credit cards, man, over here. We keeping it all legit, man. Inspired by Dreams clothing. It's just for dreamers and it's for people that you like to mix a little preppy streetwear together. And it just gives you a whole I want to give that's my whole thing when I'm designing my fashion, giving people a different outlook on how people dress. Given so when you see somebody from a distance, you won't automatically judge them just because they have dreads or just because they look a certain way, a certain skin color. You can actually feel their energy from just what they're wearing, and they present themselves in a more comforting way. And that's my whole goal behind the line. And I'm not gonna stop working or going hard at my dreams because you guys love it, and I'm gonna keep dropping that drip for you guys as well as dropping jewels because this is just something I feel these lives that I'm dropping is just because I feel it's the energy of entertainment, the energy of the people, the culture. I feel like I just had to let you guys know who I am as a person and let you know I'm not a nonsense person. I'm not like a guy that just does foolishness just to get a few views. I'm not really concentrating on the views as much. I just want the message to be there. Once I leave the message there, it doesn't matter. I rather people that tune in, they take pieces and pieces and work from it. That's what it's all about, building. I don't mind that. So I don't want anybody to think that if I say something to you guys or you're a content creator and you want to just, you want to speak on it, as long as it's in good light, I don't mind. I'm not that type of person, okay? So we can get that out the window, and it's not because of views, because you guys know I've been building YouTube pages. This is not my first page. I've been building them, and I never ever concentrated on that type of stuff because when you start looking into that stuff, you lose your way of why God put you here, why you're here talking to the people. It's all about connection. It's all about community and people seeing things through a different lens. A lot of times in entertainment, you're gonna see a lot of people. They're just regurgitating quotes and things and acting like they're a good person, but you have to live that quote. Stop putting up so many quotes about these great people made up and start living by the quote and then put the quote up. Now the quote means something because people can see you in that, like, yeah, he stepped it up. I'm feeling you. But just don't put up these quotes and all these sayings, and because it doesn't, putting up quotes doesn't make you a smart person. The more you learn, the more you educate yourself, that's what makes you a smart person. You don't have to, you could have dropped out years ago. I don't know. Some people, they dropped out of high school, which is crazy, but you could have dropped out of high school, had a rough life, and still learn the beneficial things about life, the beneficial things that's going to help you to, succeed. And you're smart, man. It's not about pointing the finger and say, oh, he's not this and he's not that. No, it's more about pointing the finger and say, he's that, and I got to go over there to get some of that and learn some of that because I don't want to be like this. That's what it's all about. A lot of dudes have that a lot of people have that, oh, I don't want them to do this or do better than this. And when it comes to clothing brands, it never really, like at first I thought that until people started, supporting me. And you start to really think about it like, you know what? When you see people out there trying to like, especially you're gonna see a whole lot of like defamation and like anything like that. If you say anything about anybody's brand and they're coming up, that's one thing I do not play with. I would sue your local cat. I don't your local dog. I would sue anybody if you try to slander the brand because I don't go out there slandering brands. I always try to lift people up. So that's the one thing you're gonna see a lot of people getting sued in these times. And in these times, tearing people down and tearing brands down, what sense does that make? It doesn't. And then you're gonna talk about legacy with the sentence right after. It's like you guys know nothing about legacy, and to be honest with you, your demons are showing. The demons are out. In all of these situations, what could we attach to all these situations that we have been seeing in these times? We can attach sex to it, we can attach guns to it, we can attach alcohol to it, and we can also attach misguided people. And they all cover under mental health. I try to tell people it doesn't matter how much. And look, you know what? Like trust me, I don't mind the bad messages. You're gonna have people with, they have black hearts. I'm not worrying about bad messages. All I concentrate on the people that do listen and take heed, because you'll become a better person. The demons, they're losing. They're losing. They're not gonna have longevity in life. That's just how life works. Sorry to be so scary and spooky, but that's just how it works. They already inherited their karma. There's nothing that we can do to pull it back or pull it off of them. No, this is something that they signed up for. That's just how it goes. When you live righteous, or when you live how God wants you to live, even if you're not the most righteous person, you'll be all right. You don't have to be in church every Sunday to be thinking about God every single day. I think I pray every single day. Maybe I might miss a few days here and there because just life. But I never forget about God. Always keep God in your situations. If you have nobody, you have no brother, no sister, no cousin, no father, no mother, God is there for you. So if the last thing that you should think about when there's nobody physically in front of you, you should always keep God with you. So that when people come around, and the non-believers and the people that want to tear you down, God has a way of turning those tables. I'm telling you. They got, I see a lot of content creators out here. They pushing this, oh, they're more holy than thou. A lot of you content creators, most of y'all are haters too. You hate on your own people. You don't want to figure things out. But you put yourself out there like you're this good person. You're not. Every now and then shouts out to Choke No Joke. Every now and then I tune into Choke, and he always has some topics out there, that's really good. And Choke always gives me a shout. He's not that type of person where when he hears me come in, and I'm pretty sure if he did see one of my videos, if he never even seen one of my videos, but he still shows me love. These are the content creators they have a heart. Not the ones that just sucking up the money and asking you guys just to throw money in their thing. It's not about that. If you guys want to leave a tip, I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Might go get like a little hot chocolate or something. I don't drink coffee. But that's just the love that you get from your people when you feel connected. Don't let other people come inside what we got going on, dreamers, and start hating on us. Because we going to be all right for this summer and everything. We got a lot of things to do. We gotta find ourselves within the good, not the bad. Just because, and usually, like I tell you, when you see something that's easy to do, everybody's gonna rush to do it. I usually go the other way, and I try to find something else on the shelf that's maybe, a little bit harder, something I can maybe, work to achieve. The things that sometimes people feel like the things that come easy to them is for them. No, that's not necessarily true. Who told you these lies? Who told you that? That's not how it works. That's not how. You think God put everybody on this earth to be an entertainer? No. Some people are some people are just good at being lovers. What about that? Just being a lover. You work hard being a lover. You don't think that that person deserves the same amount of love as a person that might have made millions and billions of dollars? Don't be fooled what you see on social media. Half of these relationships are fake. These people are not. I mean, the most when you see a relationship, like when two people are in love, you can't pull them apart. Think about it. Think about it. Think about it. Falling in love. If you ever fell in love before, or if you ever been in a relationship where you deeply cared and love somebody, you can't you can't pull us apart. We're always gonna be around each other. I don't care what you're saying. She's gonna be here. So you can say what you gotta say in front of her. You know how this love thing works. When you gotta be distant and every now and then you guys are together, That's not love. But people look at that like, you know what? I think I can deal with that. You shouldn't have to deal with that, baby girl. There's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna get down on one knee for you. Don't make them feel like you're just cheap. Like anybody can just afford you. Put some value on yourself. Ladies, you gotta also start thinking a little smarter too, especially when you hear these allegations. This is a wake up moment for all the females, and I'm talking to the females right now. Fellas, I'm gonna get to you after. But for the ladies out there, y'all have to be more aware of who y'all laying in the bed with. And like I told you, stop going to these clubs with these people with these demonic lifestyle because they're throwing things in your drink. And yeah, so what? You might have seen you might have walked past the guy at the front security, and he looked at you like, I'm gonna grape her tonight. And he put something in your drink, and you end up with that guy. But in reality, you would have never been in this situation if you wasn't around these type of people. You see what I'm saying? Just because the club is packed and everything is going on, don't mean that everybody in there having a good time. Let me tell you. You see that little light in the house over there, and you had a couple people cheering with the music on and the radio jamming, and you see the shadows in the window? They're having a good time in that house party. Trust me. Food, everything. They're having the best of time. The people in the club over there, they got to watch their back with the guns on them and this and that. Meanwhile, half of these guys can't even shoot a gun, to be honest with you. It's the people that have it up here that can actually aim the damn thing. I see a lot of people shooting, and by the time they finish shooting, man, they got shells all up in the trees. What's going on? When hurt people, look, the easiest thing for a hurt person to do, whether it's disrespecting in sound in song format, hip hop format, is hurt somebody. The easiest. Of course, they're gonna you know it's but 2 days now that little girl has been slashed, and since her slashing, there's been another person that got stabbed and two other kids that got shot. I think one died and the other. How could you feel safe with that? As a parent, you shouldn't even feel safe with your kids outside unless you know all of their friends in these times. If you don't know all of their friends and your kid is just feeling like, oh, I'm old enough to do what I want to do, well, he's gonna have to deal with man situations when he goes out there into the world because there's a lot of people out here that's ready to deal with those kids in a different type of structure than they used to deal with before because of what they're seeing on social media. People are protecting themselves. Ain't no way in hell you're gonna let a person come and just take what you work for without defending yourself. Think about it. You gonna just let somebody take from you because they're this or they're that or they're from here or this is gonna happen? No, you're gonna handle every situation accordingly. I just seen they're chasing down two girls not right now. They killed a guy in Philly. Philly, I don't know what's going on in Philadelphia, but it seems like, at first I looked at it, especially they have a big, Philadelphia, I think they have one of the biggest Muslim populations as far as like the communities and things like that. You guys could tell me if I'm wrong but I believe that Philadelphia has a big, they have one of the biggest Muslim populations. And one thing I do like about the Muslim religion, that it has a lot of discipline to it. Even though I'm a Christian, I study different religions. But it has a lot of discipline to it, and I can't understand because it's more community driven why there's not more structure in those black communities, why they are killing so much. It's either they're not practicing what they're preaching, or these kids are being misguided because they're not looking up to their parents of what their parents are doing, and they're just taking just religion as like a jacket and just going out there and doing what they have to do. They're not really abiding by it. They're just saying, it's kind of just leaving it like a family. Religion is not really like a family base. You can have people in your family that's different religions. People don't understand that. That's why you try to learn people for who they are first, and then you could understand their beliefs and you'll draw similarities from that. It's the people that don't believe in anything but themselves are the people that usually the ones that they fall short, or they're the ones that's usually blocking you from what you got to do. I told you about that. Bad having the main thing I want you guys to take away from this morning's episode is having bad people around you. I don't care if I knew you for 20 years. If you already know, if we didn't hang out yesterday, what makes you think we can hang out tomorrow? I'm very hard to get in contact with as far as hanging out. I'm not going to the club with you. And if that makes our friendship stop at that point, well, I'll see you later. We had a good time being friends, but I have to do what I have to do and what I'm here to do. Make up your mind, just like that. You can't, and entertainment makes it like they make this lifestyle makes it so easier for it, like they make it like you have to take advantage of somebody. Like your first record deal should get jerked. You should do that. No, you should get an education. You should get an education. You should know your value. You should know when to say no. You should stop people from doing things that you don't want them to do to you. I don't care how tough they think they are. You always got to remember a gun evens the platform, no matter who it is on this earth. There's nothing else. Or people have been walking with bazookas out there every day like this. No. There's no more of that tough guy stuff. When you see somebody acting tough, you're like, oh, okay, cool. All right, cool. You don't have to get on here and show off for everybody how tough you are. No, you just handle what you got to handle. You don't have to go around and try to be this, because it's not really, the more you present yourself like that, the more people would mail that type of energy to you. I always tell you they'll beat you home. Don't you see the people that are getting into these situations and why they're getting into it? Break it down. Start looking at the people. When I see somebody, or I look at the people that's around them. I test the aura around them. Are they really saying it from here? Or are they just saying it for here, for the moment? Or for beneficial. Like if you know nowadays in hip hop, boy, when somebody's selling you something, oh boy, they're the nicest person. They are the nicest person. They're ready to act like they're listening to what you're saying because they're selling you something. The other week and the week before, they wasn't trying to listen to you. They was talking, this family is about my family. I'm going home to my family. They're not caring about your family. So you got to wake up and understand these people are the people that they would never change. They will never change. They're always going to be trying to trick people like you or vulnerable to falling for their nonsense and their foolishness. But behind the scenes, they got a whole bunch of other stuff going on. I'm telling you. Don't let nobody fool you. People that go out there on social media and they act like they better than somebody. Those are the worst ones. They ain't got nothing going for themselves. They ain't got nobody. They probably single. They probably got money and nobody to love. Family don't even mess with them. Kids don't even believe in them. Trust me. It's the one everybody wants to act like they. As a black person, you know how stupid you look looking down on your own black people? Do you know how stupid you look? Don't you know even if you're a billionaire and you're a black person and you look down on your own people, you're broke? You don't know that? You don't get it? You'll never be rich without this hard. Because the what it took you to get there and the people you did things to, they're the ones that determine your story. Just because you put a story out there, you don't determine how far that story goes or how it resonates with people. If the story sounds fake and it doesn't resonate with people, eventually it'll fade away, just like your soul. And people are, be mindful of the people they don't believe in anything. Trust me, they're scared of karma. They don't even know what's going on. They don't have their life together to say, you know what, I know where I made my mistakes. Any mistake I make, I try to figure it out. Damn, why did I say that? Damn, why did I do that? I could do this better this time. I could do that. These are things that you have to figure out for yourself. As a man, as a person in society, what are you thinking? Hold on, let me get some of this. Y'all make sure y'all eating good. All that fast food nowadays, that they might as well send it straight to the prison. Cause the food ain't no good. You got to eat healthy, and you got to feel healthy to treat people right too. It's all about how you feel first and how you gonna present yourself. You're right. I do believe that some people They're not scared to die because they never had a chance to live. That's the problem. Picture what some of these people would be doing if they wasn't doing what they're doing now. I just think it's something else they could be doing. And for some people, you can't see it. I know. For me, I could have seen myself in fashion. I've been a mail clerk. I've delivered diamonds, like, back and forth in the city, in the diamond district. I've did things that I could have seen myself doing for a longer time. Because each one of those times when I was doing that, I was still myself. I was still implementing who I was in those times. And the more you grow, the more you get older, you get wiser, you start to think, what's going to be more beneficial to me as well as the people around me? And you start working within that realm. You don't look outside and be like, oh, they're doing this. Oh, he's getting a lot of views on YouTube. Oh, he just bought the demon. Meanwhile, next week you see the demon crash into the wall. Yeah, he bought the demon, but he ain't know how to slow down on the brake because he was looking on social media and he's into racing all of a sudden. He picked up the wrong hobby, the hobby that could probably lead him to a quicker death. See that happening all the time too. You feel like some people they're at a older age doing younger things, so they feel like they missed out on things in their past. That's not even probably even of value, kiddish stuff, and they want to go do it as an older adult, and then it never works out. Looking crazy online. Watch and the parents out there. This can't be your kids. These your kids? This can't be your kids, man. This can't be your kids. That's all I gotta say. The parents out there, this can't be your kids. You mean to tell me the gun's about as big as this, about as big as my room. The gun about as big as this room in here, and you don't know it's in the house? Something wrong. Something wrong. You don't have no connection with your kids. Admit it. All the working you talking about working there. Sometimes for the people that work overly work, take a break. Take a freaking break and start working on yourself. Stop working for other people and start working on your own family. That's another thing that I don't get. People love to look at other people, and you seeing us making money on the side. You seeing us elevating, and you might see it at a slower rate. And you see people, and you just sit back and you don't want none. No, ask a question. Ask somebody, how can I do this? How can I do that? This is what I like to do. Is there any way I can monetize this? Do something. Don't make this nonsense and foolishness of these people your entertainment. You see somebody rolling over like Boo Boo the Fool, and he getting 1 million views. Trust me, he's gonna be Boo Boo the Fool when the camera cuts off. Yeah, he got the money, but he's gonna be doing Boo Boo the Fool things with the money. He's gonna have a Boo Boo the Fool coffin with a Boo Boo the Fool suit on. That's how it works. You don't change who you are. So when you get to these points, you want to be very prepared because you're gonna get there. I told you. All you have to do is just take your steps and go through it. That's what I did. I don't have to look at somebody and say, oh, they have more than me or this and that. It really doesn't bother me. There's always going to be somebody that has more than you. I can guarantee you they don't have more love than me. I'll probably tie with some of the greatest. I can guarantee you that. See, my love ain't for sale. A lot of these people, their love is for sale, their soul is for sale, everything's for sale. They're ready to sell everything. And then they get the money and they can't buy anything. Taking advantage of people, whatever side you're on, putting things in people's drinks. These are things that just shows from the jump. These people didn't want to be with you, and you took it into yourself to take something away from somebody else when you could have got that for yourself. I feel any person that made it to any status they feel like they accomplished something should not only have the smarts to protect what they have accomplished, but also have the wisdom to understand there's other people out there trying to take what you got from you. Because it makes no sense that you work. Think about it. You work all your life. You work hard, and you can't enjoy the fruits of your labor. Does that make sense at all? Does that make any type of sense? Only hurt people are not gonna understand because they're messed up until they get to the point. A lot of hurt people they love to sit back because they're probably in poverty or they're probably dealing with something in a trauma in their life that they just can't get themselves out of it. But once they get themselves out of it, they gotta ask God for forgiveness for how they treated people when they was in it. Because then they won't be able to get ahead of what they're trying to do. So you still gotta turn to God, get on your damn knees, and start giving yourself to something else besides yourself. You don't really have power. What power do you have? If you only have power to hurt people, that ain't no power. Do you have any power to heal somebody? If you don't have that, you can't talk on my level. You can't even speak to me. If all you can do is hurt, you are 101 tough guy. You'll be in a coffin from 2025 or 2026. We'll see you there. But if you got the power of healing, that's where we build from. The power of learning, the power of teaching, that's where we're learning from. We're not the power of foolishness. I don't even tune into that stuff. You'll have to go viral or something would have to go wrong with you or somebody would have to do something to you for me to see you. Because I'm not going to just tune in to that nonsense. I refuse to. I don't even care if they're talking about me. It doesn't bother me. I'm very secure with myself. I love me. I love me some me. And you should say that every time you wake up and look in the mirror. Meanwhile, when you look in the mirror, all you see is horns. Get them horns off your head and put a crown on there. You've been wearing horns the whole year. The whole year you've been demon this, demon that, and you don't even know what demons are until they snuck up on you, got under your covers, and now they with you. Now you can't get the damn demons off your back. And you want people don't expect the people that's out here just to ride for. I told you, we know you're gonna inherit these people karma from not knowing the whole situation and speaking on things because there are victims out there for these people. You can't. Money doesn't buy everything. You can get a lot and have a lot of fun with money. But at the end of the day, a lot of people can't enjoy their money in these times. Look at PNB Rock. One bad decision of him wearing the $1 million jewelry in the wrong neighborhood cost him his life. Was it worth it? PNB Rock, his image didn't fit his talent for I'm saying that for me. I'm saying that his talent exceeded way beyond his image. Like when you look at PNB Rock, you can't when you hear his music, you're like, wow, he made that? He's one of those. When you can't match that, there's always gonna be a problem because you're fitting in, but you're standing out because your talent make you stand out. And it's a thing that I had to learn for myself too, that I had to realize that when you're talented and when you're smart, not everybody's gonna feel comfortable around you. The only people that's gonna be comfortable around you are other smart people, other talented people, or people that want to learn from you. Not people that's like looking at you and trying to be you, and being that they can't be you, they get frustrated because they can only use like words and stuff that you say on social media when you say it, but they can never say what you're gonna say next. So they always have to wait for try to grab a little piece of you, but it never really works because when the whole world or when the other people see it, they realize it's not you, oh, it's him. That's where you're getting this from. And that serves to the whole hip hop is like that. Hip hop is usually when you hear a person, there's always some backstory behind it, like, oh, that's what happened. It shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't have to put on this like this cloak over your face or hide your who you truly are because there's a certain type of image or a certain type of person you feel that always gets pushed to the forefront. Let me tell you, in hip hop, that's like a new thing. Before they had groups like Tribe Called Quest, I'm talking about there was so many in music that had good energy. There's so many. The whole. I mean, you guys might looking at the South now because the South they're more protecting themselves and you see more guns in the South. But let me tell you, when the South came in, man, they had so much love. All over the South had love. They brought love that love culture to the game. I don't care who don't like what I say. I don't care. I have family in the South too. Yeah, I'm from the East Coast, but I have family in the South too. That's what people understand too. When you have a big family, people all over. So I know what different regions and different boroughs and different states and countries bring to the table. And that was one of the biggest things that the South brought to the table was the love, the way they communicated with each other. And when you're the foundation of hip hop, the East Coast is the foundation where it all started. So you do have this, we do have this a little standoffish, but when we're not doing the right things and we're not pushing the culture forward and we're not treating the execs and the artists in the East the way the culture is supposed to treat them, how does that make us look? It doesn't matter if you started it. It's how it ends. How's it doing now? Yeah, you started it, and where have it built from now? Because it was going like this, and then it took a slump down. It's like it was about building, and in between you always have your craziness. That's just in culture, period. But where's the self destruction? It seems like everybody's going in this route of no, this is how it's going now, so we just gonna abide by it. No, that's not how it is. There's different types of people, different types of vibes. Not everybody's the toughest person, and not everybody has to do like this radio hit to be acknowledged, to be loved as an artist. Where did that come from? Because to be honest with you, I've been listening to a lot of new music. Shouts out to, let me see, I got, let me give you guys a little, let me give you guys a little playlist of what I've been. Well, I'm always listening to Nas. I'm always listening to Nas. Nas is in the mix regardless of whatever's on the playlist. Nas is in the mix. I like, what's a sneaker? That French Montana last project. I really got into. He has a joint on there with Bryson. I think Bryson, and it's called No Friends. That song right there that's a hit. I think they should be playing that on the radio. Oh, D1. If you guys want to check out D1, great music, educated dude. One of my favorite songs from D1 is called Writer's Block. That's so dope. The Ghostface album. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Ghost, what's goody? You talking about people that's true to their art, true to themselves. See, when it comes to the Wu Tang, these are guys that painted a picture like a Picasso in hip hop, from their logo to each individual artist. And when there's a lot of, see, the reason why you don't have to look to a Ghostface and say, oh, he has to spit something different or rhyme like this is because Ghostface in his music, if you listen to his albums all the way up, the elevation was always in there from day one. Wu Tang, the guys like Wu Tang, Nas, these guys had wisdom from. These are day one dudes. They already had a plan set in place, structure about them. RZA had the whole thing structured. These are wise people. So these were the jewels that were being sent out. Yeah, people make their mistakes and because of the game and hip hop, but the reason why you would never have to say, "Yo, why don't Wu Tang change their style because they're older?" Is because Wu Tang was already wise. They were already building each other. They learned from their mistakes. Took a lot of losses within the group. Rest in peace, ODB. And they're artists that you can learn something from that always drop jewels. You can't say you ain't take no jewels from Wu Tang. You can go. This generation could go back and listen to the old Wu Tang and still grab jewels. Yes, it's talking about the street life around it, but in between that, there's a lot of things you can learn from. There's nothing wrong with talking about street. To me, street music is almost like the best music in hip hop, personally. I love music too, but when you add the street in it, it gives that authenticity. But it's how you put the message out there. Telling the message in a way where you're glorifying the crimes and glorifying what's going on in the neighborhood or what had happened to you in the past is not necessarily the way you want to write that book. And it's not what you want to attach yourself to. You want to tell the story in a way where you can help the other person going through the same thing. So don't let a lot of these guys fool you. It's how you write. A lot of these people, they write and they cough up some stuff in a few minutes and they're ready to throw it on there and throw it at the people and for people to believe it because of they're famous. But it don't work like that. It's the people that concentrate and structure what they're doing usually gets those great end results. And I'm not talking about results of, oh, we got 1 billion views. All that stuff could be paid for. But the results that it resonates in the listener's heart is what keeps it going. It keeps the culture going, and it keeps the true listeners that really love you for your music with you for a lifetime. Now, what else? What else we got going on? Let me see. Um, yeah, man, that whole thing with academics is nasty. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it goes with that. But yeah, man, it's a lot of. I think as a culture, man, we gotta do a lot of rewiring for a lot of people. Um, and I would say, try to stay around the people that love you, man. I don't trust a lot of people because of it, because of the type of culture we're in. It's so somebody you could think could be the sweetest person could be the same person that speaking bad on your name or trying to do something that probably messes with what you got going on or just trying to keep you out of the mix because they have their certain intentions. You got to be very wary in hip hop. It's not always the sweetest face or the nicest person that you meet face face value is going to be the person beneficial to you as a friend, a good person around you. Sometimes it be the people that you don't even realize that's going to support you or realize it's going to understand what you're saying or feel what you're saying. You pushing them away because you want these type of people, but you don't even realize the people that would actually support you. It's always a surprise when it comes to those times. So I try to keep everything on one platform and try to see people for who they actually are. I do see the little things here and there, but I never take the small stuff to heart. I just say, you know what? They really don't know me like that, so I don't know who could be telling people anything. You never know in these times what people are doing. It's very easy to be misjudged and led astray from what somebody else says about somebody. But you always got to remember that person that's talking about somebody else, yeah, they'll talk about you the same way. Be mindful of that. Me, I don't got no time to be out there going whispering in somebody's ear. I think they like this. I think they like that. Because usually the information that you ever hear me say on this would be something that's already out there publicly known or something that I can back up and have some kind of proof behind. I don't got no time for the nonsense, especially when I have my own brand and I don't, because anything that comes as far as my brand, yeah, you're definitely gonna we're going to court. We're gonna mop the floor together. The only person, like I told you, we are living in the times. This is crash out season. What you do to other people or what you did to other people, it could be years, could wind you up with a bullet in your back or somebody doing some kind of harm to you. So if you don't prepare yourself for the things that are just be aware. Just don't live your life high all the time. Don't just go out there floating around not knowing what's ahead of you or behind you. Because we're living in the times where you not only have to protect yourself, you got to protect your circle, protect the things you believe in, protect everything that you're trying to push out there, protect your brand. Because people are trying to tear you down and they think they're going up, but really, God is just taking them to a point where they're going to see how hard it is for those people, and then they'll probably find themselves going way lower than the people that they were looking down to. Ain't that like how life works? Don't you know when you put people up on a pedestal and they don't love you, the only thing they have next to do is look down on you or point out something bad about you. But you always got, once you know, that's why I tell you, nobody can hurt you or point out or say anything about you when you value yourself. I would never let that happen, you guys. I would never ever let that happen. Because it's easy for, information, and it's easy to get to people, and it's in these times you're not really hiding from nobody. You're not really, and a lot of the guys that you see that they get on here and they act tough is because they just don't know how deep this internet stuff can go. They don't know that. So they get on here and they try to show everybody that knows them while they're talking that there's some guy that they're trying to be. But in reality, anything can happen to anybody. There's higher ups in this world that people that's not on social media. That's not after the things that you consider or deem to be the great stuff or the best stuff. That's how life works. Let me see what else we what. Oh, hold on. Another thing I seen. Hold on. I want to bring to you guys. You guys make sure you drop a like. Drop a like on this live right now. Make sure you drop a like. Even if you don't want to share it on your other social media accounts, drop a like for your boy. Yep. I feel so. I feel like I feel like women around the world should take heed of what's going on now and start realizing who are the real men and who to trust when you're out there, man. There's a lot of people out here just fooling people. I'm not with it. I'd rather make less and be the man that I present myself to be than go out there and make more and fool people because God don't like ugly. These are the scenes that travel in time that never ever ever will go away. It's a happy day. Today everybody should have this healing energy about themselves. Today say something nice to somebody you don't know or conversate with somebody you don't know. Don't stop your socializing in your life because there are bad people out there. Know when you know how to read people's energy, you'll know who to be around. You'll know who to be around. And also, you guys, I did drop an animation. I know you guys are tuned in because I see the numbers on it. It's the Taylor Swift pool party and Kanye West crashes the party. I didn't want to tell you guys the plot I came up with in my head the other day on live because I didn't want to spoil it. But being that it's out today, like and share that video too. I put some time into that animation. It's funny and it has a little bit of, you never seen somebody, and it has a lot of things that fashion designers, they can also open their mind up to doing things in a different way. For like example, it's a part in the animation where it's a at Taylor Swift's pool party. um I set up my hoodies and all my Inspired by Dreams clothing on these clothing racks in the party. So these are things that you can do in real life. Like, let's just say there's a celebrity. I'm not going to say a celebrity party. Let's just say you throw a party and you have a clothing brand. You can set up racks and everything and do the same and have people buy it, even though it's a clothing brand, have people that stop by your party and buy it like merch. And just to get it on the backs of the people that love you. That's the first thing you want to do with your clothing brand because those are the people that's gonna rock your stuff and they're gonna wear it more than one time. Because what happens is celebrities are so bombarded. I'm pretty sure with just clothing brands throwing them a whole bunch of clothes that they probably only could wear in these times the clothing once. So you get one shot of that person and boom, it's off to the wind. Whereas if it's a regular person and they really love the brand, they're gonna always want to keep coming back and shopping with you because the clothes feels good and they like something new. I'm here for the people that just want something new out of life and just don't want to go with what everybody else is going with. And that's the reason why I make the brand like that. I try to keep it for everybody, but not for just anybody. If y'all can understand what I'm saying, it's for people who's digging the preppy streetwear, and you just want to revive yourself. Or if you made mistakes in the past, you want to do right by yourself, and you want to change your life around. This is the brand for you. I've been working so hard on it. You guys, you wouldn't even understand. I have so many things coming. Today, I really actually wanted to put on a new piece that I had coming, but I'm waiting for the manufacturer, and that just takes a whole time in itself. But I'm gonna try to get it on for this week, and just try to show you guys because I know you guys like seeing me in it, so you can see how how to drip it out. But I want you guys to style it for yourself. So that's just on that part. Um, so yeah, man, we're gonna have. I feel like this weekend we're gonna have so many. You know what? I was watching the guy that did that documentary on King Von. I think it was My Expert Opinion. It was one. I think it was on my. He's on My Expert Opinion. And I came across this video, and he was talking about how you know, with King Von, him being a serial killer. Some people took that as, oh, he's exploiting the culture, but I didn't because you can't tell somebody if it's going on and somebody is a journalist, no matter what culture they're a part of, legally they can they can make a doc or do anything on it. You can't legally do anything to that person just because he doesn't have to be in the culture or know too much about the culture in reality. He could just be doing a documentary on serial killers, and he feels like the guy's a serial killer because he fits the criteria, and he puts him in the documentary. That's something that people have to understand, that it's gonna happen. It's information, and not only does it help the next person, but it gives a different lens to the people that present themselves, because there's a lot of people that didn't know that King Von was actually catching those murders. Some people thought it was just music, but when you start to realize that, oh, he did catch those murders, and that's when things start to change. Because you guys don't think that everybody's cool with murder, right? I know you guys don't think that. I know you guys don't think that, like, if there's a place where people are getting murdered, being that it's happening so much over there, that everybody else in the world is just going to be cool with that. That's just not how the world works. What eventually is going to happen is those people are going to be pushed to the side of life, like from jail, prison, death, their families full of trauma. Those are going to be the most trauma filled people. They're going to be the people that's going to end up with the bad results, because of the fact, for the ones that can't get out and break out of that state of mind, they're going to be looked at the ones as the enemies to the state, because we're seeing more and more innocent people getting killed. We're even seeing more cops get killed. You remember in our time, there was one guy, he killed a cop in Queens when I was younger, and that story has transcended through time all the way up till now. So in these times, they can't even take the stories that long, because more and more cops are getting shot by younger, and they're younger dudes too. You can always tell they from. When I hear at age like 24, I just know, oh my goodness, downhill, downhill. I've seen people. I've seen a kid crash a car and shoot at the person. Did y'all even see the? It was yesterday. The Uber driver in the Bronx. He picks the guy up. Oh, the guy has a gun in his backpack, and that's like number one. Uber drivers, any taxi service in these times is the worst jobs you could ever, because you're dealing with people that you don't know on a daily. Those are the most dangerous jobs in these times with mental health. You're in trouble. But back to this story. So the guy has a gun on him in the back seat, and the guy, the driver's looking back, and he's like, "Yo, could you let me out?" But I guess I'm guessing that he didn't pay him, and he's saying, "Oh, this is not an Uber driver," just to make an excuse to get out and not pay the guy for the fare. So the guy, he's keeping the car moving smart, so the guy just doesn't jump out and run out. And the guy ends up stepping out of the car now while it's moving, falls, tumbles himself, and all of a sudden, because he tumbled and hurt himself, he pick up the gun out his waist now, and he starts shooting at the guy and letting off shots. Right? Now, you went to rob the guy, you wasn't successful, and you tried to take the man's life. That's what's going on in the Bronx. Those are misguided. That's the misguided youth. Now he's on tape. The guy taped him because they want to do this quick. I'm just gonna kill him and get away with it. You're not gonna kill him and get away with it. That's your life. You know how many people saw you on camera? He got the whole mask on. When you see a young person in a mask, if somebody goes shoot them down because they were nervous in self-defense, I would understand. As harsh as that sounds, because people, when they see the mask, the hoodie, and this and that, they have an outlook of, oh, this is what's been going on social media. You can't blame people for how they look at and see things going on. There's a lot of wicked people out there looking to harm people. How many? Even in the other school, it was a high school. They had so many knives in there. I'm like, what is this? You mean to tell me they cutting students now? It was during like how the SATs and the big the states testing things. Somebody get cut in the school in the hallway. I know y'all hearing about all these incidents, man. Every single day. And don't forget, these kids are going home to parents. It's either their parents just as dumb as them, or their parents is just misguided and they don't care about their kids. Don't think that every parent out here is a good parent. That's another thing too. Just because you're a parent doesn't give you you don't get the pat on the back because you became a parent. Becoming a parent, you just had sex. and you made kids. It's what who you are as a person. How do you train those kids? How you send your kids off into the world is going to determine what kind of parent you are. So it's not just about parent. Oh, I got kids. Just because you have a kids, a lot of people don't even step up to their responsibilities. So don't you know? And nowadays, don't it feel like y'all remember the movie? Did y'all see the movie Set It Off with Queen Latifah? And you remember when she robbed that white lady and she did like this with the ID? Like she had the ID in here. If you talk, I got this. That's hip hop. That is the whole hip hop right now. Everybody's like this. If you say something, if you say something, I'ma say something. So that means that all y'all in that. When I see people protecting people for this, and I'm like, man, y'all got a lot of things. It's a lot going on that I would never ever have. I'm glad, thank God, God loved me, man. God loves me, man. He said, go a different route. This is not for you. This is not for you. Dip. Sometimes you got to go with what God tells you. Like, no, 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 no. Mm-mm. Not only that they don't have respect for females, they don't even have respect for themselves. Some of these artists, I see it all the time. I just don't support that type of nonsense. I support the people that I like and the people that I have some kind of attachment to, or if not, you don't know what you got out there. I don't want these people blocking my blessings. I'm doing good for myself. I ain't trying to, no, Don't try to, don't come here with that nonsense, that foolishness. Y'all already messed up your blessings by going out there and hurting other people or taking from this person and thinking you getting ahead. And now when you fall dead flat on your face, you want somebody to help you up. Don't you know the person helping you up could be the same Jewish person you's probably running and talking bad about? Or the same white person or black person that you was talking about? I told you guys if you don't come together, you'll die by yourself. Come together and we can have a longer life and we can have build on things. Stop trying to look and to see for outs. You're running. Stop running. Stop running. Man up. A lot of people can't man up. You got to be willing to die for something. I know it sounds crazy, but that's not crashing out. But anything to do with my family, anything to do with the people I love, you damn right I'm willing to die for it. I take you on face value, and we don't have to hide from the police and stuff like that. That's when you really stand for something. It's the old boy, Mickey outside again. So don't act like these people are bigger than them or they can do something. Most of these people they hurt, trying to hurt other hurt people. Be damned to let them hurt you though. I'll be damned to let them hurt me. Mm-mm. It'd be a cold day in hell. I promise you. This is crash out season. People are laying in the cut. You gotta understand that these victims have family members too. Thank God ain't nobody in my family. These victims, they have families too. So when you out there, you gotta be mindful of what you're doing, and you don't gotta be, a tough guy. Just do what you gotta do. You don't have to act tough because people are gonna see you on that. People will definitely see you on that, and there's people that you can't even see behind the screen. That's the scariness about this whole thing called life. So how you treat people is how you get treated. And even though that might sound cliche, it's just the truth in these times. Everything is in a cycle. What goes around comes around. So that's all I gotta say, when it comes to this whole with the allegations. We gotta wait and see what's going on. And I'm hearing as far as the Diddy allegations, Lil Rod, I guess something like they threw it out. I'm not too sure. Don't hold me on that. It's because his story, it just sounded like it was all over the place. Men sleeping with men. Um, Sometimes in this culture, you hear a lot of guys, they're more tending to be comfortable with the females being lesbian, and they don't look at it as that being gay because they haven't been, they didn't really, some people don't think it out. But it's just like how females sleep with females, men sleep with men, and then it comes to a point where other men feel embarrassed that they don't want themselves to be out there. That's when you feel the friction, and that's when I done seen men. We've seen the stories. I done seen men with their wives catch them sleeping with another man, and they go kill the wife. Huh? So you could go off with him, or what is it? What's this all about? It's all because they're not secure with themselves, and they want people to look at them in a certain way. When you are who you are, and You put yourself out there. You don't have to worry about how other people look at you. All you got to know is who you are when you look in that mirror. I know who I am. You should know who you are too. A lot of people you see, sometimes you get the bad comments and this and that, but those are hurt people. You know how many hurt people are in this world? I'm pretty sure there's more hurt people in this world than there are people that's not hurt. But some people just hide it better. That's all. Some people just hide it better. That's all. Because we all go through things. It's what we're going through. You never know the person you look into that you think that has it all.